Hello everybody, this is Raul Midón and I'm about to go out on tour to many places. I'm really excited about my new album, Don't Hesitate. I ended up working with some wonderful people. I did a song with Liz Wright. There's a song called Keep Holding On. There's a tune that I wrote with Richard Bona called If You Want Me To. We had a really good time with that one. I did a song with Dianne Reeves called Make It Better. And most of the album I did right here at home. So I'm really excited about this, my production debut.
When it comes to needing love, we're all the same.
On the beginning of the album, I created this song called Libertad. It was really based on an event that happened at the U.S. border, and I heard this story on Pacifica Radio, and it just I couldn't really get it out of my head. So I wrote a song, and it kind of turned out to be about the promise of coming here, a promise of the United States of America, and how that can go terribly wrong. One of the things about the story of Anastasia Rojas is that they actually had audio. The only reason that the story got out, that it didn't get covered up, was because there were some people who recorded the event as it was happening on their cell phones, and there was some very haunting audio of basically a person being beaten pretty much to death. And it was really very difficult to listen to, and it was kind of one of those things that I almost didn't really want to listen to it, but I couldn't get it out of my mind. And so the song is actually a bilingual song. It's actually in both languages. So the sort of chorus part of the song, where I sing really high, is the last words that he said before he died, which was "help me." And so the song says, "Ayúdame por favor, ayúdame por favor." So that's the sort of peak of the song. Also, it was a way for me to unite different kinds of music. Really, it's an Andean piece with Andean instrumentation, and what I mean, Bolivia, Argentina, Uruguay, Chile, these places, there's in their folk music, they use an instrument called the charango. They use bombo and they use guitar and some kind of bass. And so basically, Libertad is that instrumentation with English lyrics, and it was a wonderful chance to do a kind of music that I grew up with, that is really a part of my musical roots. One of the tracks that I worked on the album is called Mi Amigo Cubano, and I wrote it with Bill Withers. The process started back in around 2008. I was involved in a documentary that was done about Bill Withers, and I was a small part of it. But in this documentary, we just started writing this song together. He called me up when I was in a hotel room, and he said, I want to write a song with you. And I was really excited about it. And he said, I want to write a song with you in Spanish. And the way it kind of went down was I was the translator. He would say, how do you say, how's your wife? I'd say, ¿Cómo está tu esposa? He'd say, put that in there. And he'd say, how do you say we don't talk anymore? No hablamos más. He'd say, put that in there. And it turned into a song. I also got to work with Dianne Reeves, who I really just admire as one of the great singers of our time. Dianne is truly a great vocal improviser, which is something very close to my heart. And one of the things that we would do would be, we would literally start improvising on a song and just go for it, completely free, and then end up back into finishing the song. And it's something that happened live many times that was really, truly special. So when it came to making this record, I realized there was a song that Dianne would be perfect for. It just came out so beautifully, and it's everything that I thought it could be.
People need people just to get along. Still a little lonesome living can keep you strong and make it better. Make it better.
I want to talk a little bit about the technology I used to make the album. The basic recording of an album is pretty fundamental, but for me as a blind person to record an album, it takes a very special kind of technology. I started it with synthesis, with demos, but I just got more and more into the ins and outs of recording and being able to make something, create something that would be, sort of industry ready, that would be competitive. And I got so much support from a company called Dancing Dots. They created this software that goes on a computer that allows me, with a speech synthesizer, it basically makes my computer talk. So when I'm on a certain bar, it'll tell me what bar I'm on. If I want to go back, if I want to check my recording levels, I can go, hey, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I can hit a button and it'll tell me you're at -6 or at -4.
R21, D1, marker first verse. R38, D3, take 273, marker A1. R48, D1, marker second verse.
If I want to use all kinds of technology, if I want to punch in somewhere or edit or do any kind of thing like that, it tells me what's going on. It's basically a way of getting feedback that normally you would get from a screen, and it allows me to use the technology without using a mouse, which I know some people can't imagine, but it is possible through keyboard shortcuts and other things that to be able to do some pretty incredible things with a JAWS speech synthesizer with digital technology. So I just want to acknowledge that there are some very, very smart people that put some time into making technology, recording technology, professional recording technology accessible for a blind person. There's another song on the record, the only cover. It's called I Can See for Miles. It's a song by Pete Townsend and The Who. I heard the song for a long time when I was younger, but I got a chance to do this song at a show at Carnegie Hall called, it was a show, a tribute to The Who. I really love the song because it has some very unusual characteristics, very unlike most rock and roll songs. The voicings on the miles and miles and miles, it's very different from any other rock and roll song actually that I've ever heard. It was also a chance for me to do something kind of quirky. I put a little Morse code message at the beginning of the song. If anybody knows Morse code, you'll hear miles and miles in Morse code as I'm playing the harmonics. So this is one of the cool things that you get to do when you record at home. You get to do quirky things like that.
I know you've deceived me, now here's a surprise. I know that you have, 'cause there's magic in my eyes.
So that's a little bit about my album. Don't hesitate to pick up a copy. And I hope to see you out there on the road. I will be touring all over the place in the next few months. and I will sign your records. Thanks a lot.
I can see for miles and miles. I can see for miles and miles. I can see for miles.